Hello guys, my name is Arthur and today I'd like to tell you more about our mid-drive e-bike. This model called Vortex. It has a motor located on the middle. The unique off-road capability of this bike will amaze you. It can climb any hill, it has plenty of torque. You can play with the maximum speed of this bike. You can change its parameter for the maximum speed and torque by changing the rear sprocket. I'd like to start with the components this bike built of. So the main chassis built on the steel tubular frame. It's strong enough for two people, so you can install one set of pedals here and you have two options. Either you can install the second foot pegs over here on the swing arm, or you can install the pedal mechanism, so you actually can pedal this as a normal bicycle for legal reasons where you cannot ride on motorcycles. But of course this bike was built mainly as a motorcycle, not as a bicycle. So as I said, you can ride alone or you can ride with two people on this bike. It's strong enough. It has originally 3.2 kilowatt hour battery. It has a Kelly 7230 controller, which is sine wave, so this bike is completely silent. And since there is no like belt or extra gears or anything like this, there is only a single chain, and if you keep it clean and lubricated, it will be almost as silent as a hub motor located in the rear wheel. So because we don't use high rate motor in the middle, there is no much noise, and using the sine wave controller that keep it as silent as possible. So you have a double crown fork on front, and you can install coil spring suspension on the back with a size from 240 to 190 millimeters. This right now installed 220 millimeters, but you can play with location of the upper support of the shock, so any size of the shock will fit here. On front we recommend to install a double crown suspension because of the high travel and to keep the geometry of the bike like it was designed. What else? You have here the charging port located on the front, and you have a USB ports so you can charge your phone or whatever you have. In our production series there will be a TFT display that will show you the speed, power, distance, time, and so on and so on. So it will be connected to the controller and show you the power and all other parameters from your ride, so you can track it to see the voltage of your battery, how long did you ride already, and what's the rest of the capacity of the battery, so you know when you need to turn back. But with original battery 3.2 kilowatt hour, we did a real life testing in the mountains in Alps, and you can actually see those videos in our channel. We managed to get over 90 kilometers travel distance in the mountains with a total elevation 4.5 kilometers uphill. So I think this is the biggest, the longest range you can get from any electric bike nowadays. The weight of this machine is around 60 kilograms. Of course it's not light, but again it was built with extra stiffness in mind, and you don't need to worry about damaging this frame by riding on the hard terrain. It can survive any challenges you just think about it. What else? On the rear we have a standard 17-inch rim with a high profile tire on the back, so it made it softer and has more grip. You can have low pressure on the rear tire and ride on muddy terrain, sand and so on, so you have a big point of contact on the rear tire. On the front right here installed 19-inch motorcycle rim, but again if you don't ride such a hard terrain, you might like to install the bicycle rim with the bicycle tires that will make the total unsprung mass on front lighter. About the battery, we have 18650 battery block inside. It consists of 300 cells, the same batteries that we installed originally in a Typhoon model. So it has similar components inside, same controller, same battery. The main differences again is that the motor located not in the rear wheel but in the middle of the frame, which make a better weight distribution. So most of the mass located in this point, plus the foot pegs located also like down there. So the center of gravity of this bike is really low, so it's very stable on a high speed, on turns, during the turns. Also, you can change the position of the foot pegs by moving it up and down by 45 degrees. So it moves in two axles at the same time. So you can find the most comfortable places for you as a rider. Again, you can change the stem. It can be longer, shorter, with angle or not. So you can fit the geometry of this bike to your body to feel it most comfortable on this. What else I wanted to say about this bike? It comes equipped with a light that work from the main battery, so you don't need to charge extra light on front. It will have also light on the back. What else? I should tell you more about this unique sprocket. We designed it by ourselves. We have 3 different sizes, and you can play with the maximum speed, maximum torque, or have a middle option with a plenty torque and speed. So if you're not planning to ride with 2 people on the bike, then you probably don't need the biggest size sprocket on the back, because you have plenty of torque even with the smallest sprocket on the back. And the maximum speed with the smallest sprocket on the back with the Kelly controller should be around 80 to 90 kilometers per hour. And with the biggest sprocket, which is installed on this particular bike, you should have the maximum speed of about 55 to 65 kilometers per hour. Alone or with 2 people on top, doesn't matter. The bike has more than enough torque, so it's not the issue. You can fold the pedals. If you transport the bike in your car or on a bike rack, you can just fold the pedals or disconnect them completely. You can turn the steering wheel and put the bike in your car to transport it if you need. The range of this bike on a straight will be around 200 kilometers if you ride it slowly. So if you live in a distance where you need to commute first to get to the off-road places to ride this bike, it still has plenty of charge, so you can do it on a single charge with this bike. It has a key, so you can start the system with the help of the key, and nobody without key cannot use this bike, so you can leave it pretty much and be sure that nobody can ride the bike without this key. The bike has a pretty good weight distribution, as I said before, so when you sit on the bike, it absorbs bumps, and your ride will be as comfortable as only possible. It has a decent size, so you don't feel that the frame is small. It's actually fit. We have clients who are 2 meters tall, and they ride this bike with plenty of comfort, so you don't feel that this frame is small compared to other manufacturers. What other advantages is, of course, that this bike can take a lot of beatings. This test bike was tested a lot in the mountains, and it was in a couple of crashes off-road, and as you can see, it's look absolutely fine. The big advantage of this tubular frame design is that those side covers that located on the sides, on the back, and beneath the frame, they are interchangeable. So even if you crash on the bike or you scratch it or something happened, you can easily swap them for the new pair, which is not expensive, and your bike will look like the bike when you bought it from the first day, right? So if you have the frame where the side panels are part of the construction of the frame, and you fall on the side and you bend it, or you practiced wheelie and you fall and you have a crack somewhere or dent, that means the overall structural rigidity is already not like it was originally before, so you need to pay attention. Here it's not the issue. The tubes almost impossible to damage and crack or dent, and they are made from steel, so it's also easy to repair. We calculated if we would make this frame out of aluminum, we would need thicker tubes for aluminum and extra internal components, and we would save approximately 15 to 20% of the frame weight. But taking into account the big weight of the battery, controller, motor, and so on, plus your weight on top, that doesn't really make much difference, but it saves you a lot of money in terms of cost, labor, possibility of repair, and so on. The frame is covered with powder paint. It can be any color, as well as rims, and it's protected 100% from the rust. You can leave the bike outside. As you can see, there is no like very visible metal. Everything is covered with a powder paint. We use 2 layers of paint to make sure there is no like micro gaps where the water can contact with the metal. So don't need to worry about this. The front brakes on our production model will be the same as on the Typhoon. It will be double caliper Tektro brakes, which are the best in class. They have the best heat dissipation ability. And on the back you have 4-piston 203mm rotor also Tektro brake, which is strong enough, taking into account that on the back you have the regenerative braking with the help of the motor, and it can be modified on your phone, so you can basically lock the rear wheel with the power of regenerative braking. So you can tune it from very gentle and smooth to very strong and immediate. The same with the throttle. You can program it so it can be gentle and soft, or it can be very sharp. So you can practice like wheelie or power slides, whatever you want to do on this bike. So all in all, this is like designed for off-roading, of course. This is unique performance machine that can get you anywhere you just think about. Probably the only place that limits you is traction of your rear tire. So here you can play with different profile of rear tires. It can be motocross tires, it can be asphalt tires, so it's all up to you depending on where you ride. Is it a gravel or mud or off-road or sand? So you can choose a proper tire for the surface where you ride the most. And yeah, I think I said everything. A lot of parts from this bike came from the bicycle. So like you can tune the spokes or fork or suspension or bleed the brakes by yourself, or you can do it in any bicycle store next to you, since we use the same components as high-end bicycle manufacturers use. So it's not an issue. If you need to do some small adjustments or repairs, you can do it locally in your bicycle store, so don't need to worry about this. Bike came with 2-year warranty and 1-year warranty for all the electronic, like battery, controller, and the display. The frame, motor, and chassis, suspension, brakes came with 2-year warranty, and if something happened, we will get you a replacement, or we'll offer you free repair with delivery, of course. So I think I told you the main points, the main part about this frame. As you can see, it's like not small, so you feel comfortable in this, you feel stable. This is not the light bike, although you can pick it up, and I don't think you will find any pit bike with same weight, power, torque ratio as this machine. So thank you for watching. If you have some questions that I didn't explain or answer during this video, please leave them in the comment section to this video. I will definitely answer them. And to get more information about this bike or frame or some other components, please visit our website, which is vectorebike.com, and you can find all information there. Thank you for watching. Have a good ride.